Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the online parallel session at the International Conference on Advancement in the Data Science and Learning and Information System, which is 2026. My name is Widya Febriani, and I'm honored to serve as the moderator for this session. Today we have Sarah's remarkable presentation explore the subtopic of the computer vision and intelligent visual recognition. So before we begin, allow me to outline the format for this session. Each presenter will have 10 minutes to deliver this presentation. At the 8 minutes, a reminder will appear. There are 2 minutes left, and I will state when the time is up. So they will be followed by 5 minutes for Q&A answer, and I can often hold the question until the end Q&A session after each presentation. So if a presenter is not ready to present with 1 minute of their scheduled time, we will process with the next presenter. So the presenter who have not ready will be rescheduled to present at the end of the session. So after all the other presenter have finished during the presentation, please mute your microphone unless permit to speak. We're exciting our enter visual room during the session. So stay this room until the end of this event. Okay, so now without further ado, let's welcome our first presenter is Miss Aida Hanifa. She will present a paper titled Enhanced Motion Sensitivity in Dynamic Image for Facial Expression Recognition Through the Clean, a learnable input level getting mechanism. Are you there? Okay. Miss Aida, the time is yours.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see and it's clear.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aida Hanifa from Binoy Nusantara University. Today, I will present our research entitled Enhancing Motion Sensitivity in Dynamic Image for Facial Expression Recognition through Clean, Learnable Input Level Getting Mechanism. Okay, this presentation consists of four parts. First, I will briefly explain the motivation behind this work. Then I will introduce the proposed clean framework and experimental setup. After that, I will discuss the experimental result. And finally, I will conclude with the key findings and future direction. Okay, so facial expression recognition, or FER, aims to automatically identify human emotion based on facial expression. One common challenge in FER is capturing subtle facial movements because emotional expression often involve very small changes in facial muscles. To represent temporal information efficiently, many studies use dynamic image, which compares motion information from an entire video sequence into a single image representation. This approach is computationally efficient compared to processing every video frame individually. However, subtle motion information can still become weakened during the early stage of CNN feature extraction. As a result, important emotion-related cues may not be fully utilized by the classifier. To address this issue, we propose CLEAN, a learnable input level getting mechanism that enhances motion sensitivity regions before feature extraction begins. So many existing FER approaches use optical flow or 3D CNN architecture to capture temporal information. Although this method can achieve good performance, they often require high computational cost and increased model complexity. Dynamic image provide a more efficient alternative because they summarize temporal motion into a single image. However, once the dynamic image enters the CNN, subtle motion patterns may gradually lose importance due to repeated downsampling operation. Therefore, we investigate whether enhancing motion information before feature extraction can improve recognition performance while maintaining computational efficiency. This work makes our main contribution. First, we introduce Clean, a likewise motion-aware getting mechanism applied directly at the input level. Second, Clean selectively enhance motion-rich facial region before the backbone network extra feature. Third, the proposed module is extremely lightweight, requiring only a single learnable parameter. And finally, experimental results show that Clean improved recognition accuracy by 2.20, 2.2 25%, while introducing only 2.80% inference overhead. This slide presents the overall framework. We evaluate the proposed method using the Indonesian Mixed Emotion Dataset or IMED, which contains facial expression video representing 7 basic emotion categories. The dataset consists of 105 video sequences, including anger, disgust, fear, happiness, sadness, surprise, and neutral expression. To convert video sequences into dynamic image, we use a sliding window strategy with a window size of 16 and a stride of 4. This process generates a total of 1,961 dynamic image representation. Next, quality filtering is applied based on brightness and sharpness criteria. A total of 106 low-quality samples were removed, resulting in 1,855 valid samples used for training and evaluation. The generated dynamic image are then processed by proposed clean module. Okay, next, Glean selectively amplify motion-rich regions while preserving the original image information. The enhanced image are subsequently classified using EfficientNet B0, which was selected because it offers a favorable balance between recognition performance and computational efficiency. Training is performed using ADAMW optimization for 25 epoch under certified 5-fold cross validation. Now, let us look at the quantitative result. Compared with the baseline dynamic image approach, Glean improved the average accuracy by approximately 2.25 percentage points, increasing from 84.80% to 87.05%. Similarly, the microiPhone score improved by approximately 2.7 percentage points, increasing from 83.06% to 85.76%. This indicates that the improvement is not limited to overall accuracy, but also enhanced class balance performance under class imbalance. Another important observation is that Glean exhibition lower performance variance across the 5 folds, suggesting more stable generalization. Overall, this result demonstrates that enhancing motion information with video extraction can significantly improve facial expression recognition performance. So the next is ablation study. Okay, sorry. To better understand the contribution of each component, we conducted an ablation study. We compare 4 different configurations: the baseline dynamic image model, mask only, alpha only, and the full Glean formulation. The result showed that neither mask only nor alpha only is able to perform the baseline model. The highest performance is achieved only when both spatial masking and residual modulation are combined within the full Glean formulation. This suggests that the components complement each other and are both necessary for optimal performance. We also evaluated computational efficiency. Compared with EfficientNet B0, the number of parameters and G-flops remain unchanged. At the same time, inference time increased by only 2.8%, while the model achieved a statistically significant improvement with a p-value of 0.025. The result indicates that Glean improved recognition performance while introducing almost no additional computational burden. And per class analysis, this slide presents the confusion matrix and class-wise performance analysis. We observed that Glean performance particularly well on emission characterized by stronger facial movements such as anger, happiness, and sadness. In contrast, neutral expression remain more challenging to recognize. This is expected because neutral face contain very limited motion information, reducing the benefit provided by motion over enhancement. Nevertheless, the overall results suggest that Glean effectively stringes motion-sensitive cues that are important for facial expression recognition. Okay, conclusion. And to conclude, we propose Glean, a learnable input level gating mechanism designed to enhance motion sensitivity in dynamic image by selectively emphasizing motion-rich facial regions with feature extraction. Glean improved the quality of motion information available to the classifier. Experimental evaluation on the Indonesian mixed emotion dataset demonstrate that Glean achieved an average accuracy of 87.05%, representing an improvement of approximately 2.25 percentage point over the baseline approach while introducing only minimal computational overhead. Its findings suggest that motion over enhancement at the input level is an effective and efficient strategy for facial expression recognition. For future work, we plan to evaluate the proposed method on larger individual datasets such as AffectNet and UpWeb2 to further assess robustness under variation in lightning, pose, and occlusion. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. I will be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Aida. That's an insightful presentation, yeah. So we'll now open the floor for the question and answer. So please raise hand if you any question. Okay. Okay, so I think while waiting for the audience, I have quick question for you, Miss Ida, yeah. Okay, so how does the clean mechanism handle extreme variation in lighting or sudden occlusion in dynamic image compared to traditional getting the method? So what you choose clean mechanism? Yeah, maybe.
Reason why I choose
Okay, yeah.
clean mechanism. Oh, okay.
And what the challenge of your research using the cleans, maybe, yeah.
Okay, so maybe the reason why we choose clean because dynamic image already contain temporal motion information, but subtle motion cues may become weakened during the early stage of CN and feature extraction due to repeated tone sampling operation. Therefore, we propose clean as input level getting mechanism that enhance motion sensitivity, regions, or feature extraction begins, allowing important motion information to be preserved while maintaining computational efficiency. And the challenge of using Glin is Glin relies on motion cues contained in dynamic image. Therefore, its benefit is smaller for expression with very limited motion, such as neutral expression. And maybe another challenge is since Glin amplifies motion sensitivity regions, its effectiveness depends on the quality of the generated dynamic image. If the dynamic image contains noise, blur, or poor motion representation, the gating mechanism may amplify less informative regions. And maybe there's another challenge like generalization because the current evaluation was conducted on AMED, which is a relatively small and controlled dataset. Additional validation on larger in the wild dataset is still needed to verify robustness under varia, and varia, variations in lighting, pose, and occlusion. That's the challenge I have. Thank you.
Okay, that's all from you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Aida, for your sharing and good discussion. Yeah. Okay, so let's now process to our next presenter, and so please welcome Miss Naila Ataya Mumtaz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
are you
you.
here? Yeah, okay. So the paper title is about the enhanced armored person detection using YOLO version 11 version, yeah, and rule-based post motion modular framework. So a warm round of applause and that's time for you, yeah. So present. Okay.
Thank you, Miss Budia. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Naila Mumtaz from Telkom University. Before I begin, I would like to apologize in advance if there's any interruption during my presentation because unfortunately there's currently a power outage at my home, so I need to conduct this presentation from an alternative location outside my house. So today I will present our research entitled Enhancing Our Person Detection using YOLO 11 and rule-based solution in a modular framework. This work investigates how human pose information can be combined with object detection to improve firearm detection performance in surveillance environments. So firearm detection remains a challenging task in computer vision and surveillance systems. There are several reasons for this challenge. First, firearms are usually small objects and partially occluded by the hand or body. Second, CCTV footage commonly contains varying lighting conditions, camera angles, and different image quality. As a result, these detection models may fail to identify the weapon correctly. In security applications, misdetections are particularly dangerous because actual threats may go unnoticed. Therefore, improving detection sensitivity is an important research objective. To address these challenges, we proposed a modular framework consisting of three main components. First, YOLO 11 is used for weapon detection. Second, media pipe post is used to estimate human body key points, especially the wrist and elbow. Third, both outputs are combined using a rule-based fusion mechanism. We selected a rule-based fusion because it preserves the modular structure of the system. This means post information can be incorporated without modifying or detraining the original detector. For training and evaluation, we collected a dataset containing 4,285 images, and the dataset was divided into 2,571 images, 857 validation images, and the same amount for testing. The images were obtained from 3 different sources, such as RoboFlow datasets, YouTube video frames, and the open source GunMultis dataset. The sources provide diverse visual conditions, including indoor and outdoor scenes, varying lighting conditions, and partially occluded firearms. So how does the fusion work? The proposed fusion operates in 2 stages. The first stage is detection refinement. When a weapon is detected by YOLO 11, the system calculates the distance between. If the weapon is close to the wrist, its confidence score is increased. Otherwise, the confidence score is reduced. The second stage is detection recovery. If no weapon is detected, but a person and valid arm key point are found, the system estimates the arm direction using elbow and wrist coordinates. A candidate region is then generated along the projected arm direction to recover potential missed weapons. Through these 2 stages, the framework can both validate existing detections and recovered missed ones. Next, we compare the baseline of YOLO 11 with the proposed method. The baseline method achieved precision of 0.911, recall of 0.511, and average precision of 0.554. And after applying the proposed method, the results became precision of 0.759, recall of 0.801, and average precision of 0.751. Most importantly, recall increased from 0.511 to 0.801, representing an improvement of approximately 56.8%, and average precision also increased by around 35.6%. These results indicate that post-guided fusion successfully recovers many missed weapon detections. So why recall improves and why precision decreases? The increase in recall can be explained by the additional contextual information provided by human post estimation. Post information helps the system identify likely weapon locations, even when firearms are small or partially occluded. However, this improvement comes with a trade-off. Precision decreases because the recovery mechanism introduces additional candidate detection. Some false negatives occur due to wrist localization errors or because nearby objects happen to lie along the arm direction. Despite this limitation, the substantial improvement in recall and average precision suggests that the recovery detections are largely valid. For surveillance in applications, reducing misthreads is often more critical than maintaining extremely high precision. We also compare our work with the previous work by Velasco Mata, and their approach achieved a precision of 0.752, recall of 0.830, and average precision of 0.625. Although their method achieved slightly higher recall, our framework produced a substantially higher average precision, as you can see. This means that the proposed rule-based fusion provides a better balance between detection sensitivity and localization quality. The example shown on the slide demonstrates a situation where the baseline detector only identifies the person-held weapon context, while the proposed method successfully localized the weapon itself. So, in conclusion, this work proposes a modular framework that combines YOLO 11 object detection and media pipe post estimation through a rule-based fusion strategy. The proposed method significantly improves recall and average precision by leveraging special relationships between weapons and body key points. The framework remains modular, interpretable, and doesn't require retraining the original detector. For future work, we will investigate adaptive or learning-based fusion strategies to further improve the balance between the recall and precision. So thank you very much for listening. If there's any question,
Okay,
I will
great, Miss Naila, the presentation. So, any
glad
question from
to
all
answer.
audience? Please raise hand. Okay. Yeah. Any question? Okay. So from me, the question. Okay. So YOLO 15 is already high capable, yeah. Why you use YOLO 11, and what the positive aspect or framework when you use YOLO 11? Maybe so you can explain what you use the YOLO 11. Okay, I think Miss Naila have trouble, ya. Okay, are you there, Miss Naila?
Oh, oh,
Okay.
or I will answer again. I'm sorry for the
No,
interruption.
it's okay. You have trouble with your connection. Okay. Mm,
So why do we choose Zero 11? Because it offers improved feature extraction, better optimization, and more stable detection performance. And since our goal was to evaluate on a modern detector, Zero 11 was chosen as the baseline model. I think that's why we choose Zero 11.
okay. So, thank you very much, Miss Naila, for your answers. Okay. And let's proceed to our next presenter. So please welcome Miss Tati Mardiana. So the title paper is Evaluating Modern Backbone Architecture in Marx RCNN for Fish Instance Segmentation Toward Automated Fish Species Identification. So the time is yours, Miss Tati.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tati Mardiana from Universitas Susah Mandiri. Today, I will present our study on benchmark modern backbone architecture for fish detection and instance segmentation toward automated fish species identification. Our presentation will be organized into following section: introduction, method, result and discussion, and conclusions. First, I will explain the background and motivation of this study. Indonesia fisheries sector play a strategic role in supporting food security and the national economy. Indonesia water are home to around 8,500 fish species, including around 7,000 fish marine species. Traditionally, fish species identification relies on manual observation on morphological characteristics. However, this process is time-consuming and requires expert knowledge. It is also challenging for morphologically similar species. Therefore, there is needed for an accurate automated identification system. Previous studies have shown that CNN-based method can achieve high accuracy for automated fish species identification from digital image. However, most existing studies only focus on image level classification and do not provide anatomical information that is essential for morphometric analysis in fish species identification. In fisheries, morphometric analysis is essential, especially for distinguishing morphologically similar species. This requires accurate localization of fish anatomical structure. To address these challenges, fish detection and instant segmentation can be used because they enable precise localization and boundary delineation of fish object. Among existing approaches, Max-RCNN is widely used for fish detection and segmentation. However, its performance strongly depends on the backbone architecture used. The main objective of this study are to develop a Max-RCNN-based framework for fish detection and instant segmentation and compare three modern backbone architecture to identify the optimal trade-off between accuracy and computational efficiency. The research methodology consists of 5 stages: data collection, data preprocessing, model training, model evaluation, and performance comparison. We first collected and prepared the data set, then train Max-RCNN with 3 backbone architecture. Finally, we evaluate and compare their performance to identify the best balance between accuracy and computational efficiency. We use the fish image bank from Kaggle dataset and applied preprocessing, including data augmentation, resizing, and normalization. Then we train Max-RCNN using 3 backbone architecture and evaluate their performance using MAP, AP50, inference time, and flip-flops. Next, I will performance comparison of 3 backbone architecture. The training curve so that all model covered during training. However, Convenex Nano and Swintiny achieve more stable performance and lower validation loss than efficient NetV2 small. The results show that Convenex Nano achieve the best performance with MAP of 0.622 and AP60 of 0.646, and Swintiny ranked second with MAP of 0.574 and AP50 of 0.612, while efficient NetV2 small saw the lowest performance. Overall, this result indicate that Convenex Nano provide the best balance between detection accuracy and computational efficiency for fish detection and instant segmentation. At the visual result show that all 3 backbone architectures successfully detect and segment the fish object. However, Convenex Nano produce more accurate boundaries and more consistent result across different fish images. The computational efficiency results show that Convenex Nano has 44.26 million parameter, achieve the highest speed of 52.7 frames per second, and requires 61.7 gigaflops. Swintiny has a large number of parameters with 47.49 million, but its processing speed decreased of 237 frames per second. However, it has the lowest computational cost, requiring only 23.61 gigaflop. Efficiency NetV2 small has 39.58 million parameter and the lowest speed at 22.9 frames per second. It also requires the highest computational cost with 68.34 gigaflop. We also compare the performance of our model with that previous study. Grounded SAM achieved the highest detection performance with MAP of 0.997 and AP60 of 0.998. However, its computational efficiency was not reported. Grounded SAM is large foundation model. However, it requires high computational resource, it making less suitable for its computing application. Among our model, Convenex Nano achieved the best performance with MAP of 0.60 22 and AP60 of sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, Bu Tati. It's
All,
okay. So you can
okay.
continue your presentation. Okay. 3 minutes.
Overall, Convenex Nano provide the best trade-off between detection performance and computational efficiency, making it promising choice for future edge computing application will be discussed in this section. Nano provide the best thread within Max RCNN. Its modernized CNN architecture can better preserve fine-grained fish characteristic. Although grounded SAM achieve the high accuracy, it requires substantial computational resource, which may limit in practical deployment. This result also suggests that lightweight architecture such Convenex Nano are suitable for resource-constrained fisheries environment, including fish landing site and fish market. For future work, performance can be improved through fish-oriented data augmentation, hyperparameter optimization, and more robust handling of challenging image condition. In addition, anatomical key point detection can be integrated to support automated morphometric analysis and automated fish species identification. To conclude, these are the key findings of this study. We develop and evaluate 3 modern backbone architecture within Max RCNN framework for fish detection and instance segmentation. Convenex Nano achieved the best trade-off between predictive performance and computational efficiency with MAP 0.622 and processing speed of 52.7 frames per second. The result demonstrate that backbone selection significantly influence the performance and efficiency of automated fish analysis system. This finding provide practical guidance for selecting backbone architecture under different computational constraints, and future work will extend the proposed framework by integrating anatomical key point detection to enable morphometric analysis. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much for insightful and great research, Miss Tati. Research study, yeah. So, any question from all audience? Okay, so maybe from me, what the question is about the. Okay, so based on your evaluation, Miss Tati, which backbone architecture provide the best trade-off between segmentation accuracy and inference speed for real-time automated identification in underwater environment? So about the accuracy. My question is about the accuracy and speed time, yeah. Do your research. Yeah.
I'm sorry, could you please repeat the question?
Okay, it's okay. Okay. So based on your evaluations, okay. So backbone architecture provide the best trade-off between segmentation accuracy and inference speed for real-time automated identification in underwater environment. So what you to do and what your next research might be doing this
Yes.
backbone architecture. Yeah. the future research maybe.
Yes. After this study, I want to enhance accuracy. The result 060 port 6, and then I want to integrate the framework with anatomical key point detection to enable morphometric analysis.
Okay, Miss Latif. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you. And we next move to next presenter is Mr. Fakih Hamami. The title is about Intelligent Information System for Underground Parking Management, Real-Time Vehicle Tracking and Flow Counting. So are you there, Mr. Fakih?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss Widya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ya, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to say thanks to the committee for giving me the opportunity here to present our research with the title Intelligent Information System for Underground Parking Management. Okay. So my presentation will be divided into four main agendas. The first is introduction, where I will deliver the background of the research, and the second part is methodology, where I deliver the solution pipeline for this research, and in result and discussion, we will showcase the have done, and the last one is conclusion. We conclude what we have done here in this research. Okay, let's start from the main problem here. So we know that the growth of Indonesian motors vehicle in Indonesia is increasing, and based on data from registration and identification in 2024, it was 3.63%. And if we narrow down to Bandung City, there are for about 2.36 millions total vehicle registered in Bandung City, and especially in passengers vehicles such as sedan, SUVs, MPVs, and city car, around 474,000 units. So what's the impact of this? These vehicle demands drive to traffic congestion and higher fuel consumption and outpacing parking capacity. Okay, in modern architecture, in modern infrastructure today, many hotels, shopping centers, and some of universities with higher building, they implement underground parking to solve the parking capacity problem. Beside that, it can protect vehicle from extreme weather condition. In our university, in Telkom University, we have the tallest building, which is called Telkom University Landmark Tower. And one of the challenge there is the uncertainty of slot availability. So sometimes users or drivers are wasting their times and their fuel to move from one point to other point with their times. In conventional approach, sometimes people try to install physical sensors in their basement, but it comes with high installation costs. And even if they install CCTV, it will suffers from occlusion from the pillars or other vehicle. So this research proposed uh, to give the alternative for this issue, which is called flow-based entry-exit counting. So we try to create a simple system that can detect vehicles in basement entry and exit point only. When the object is detected, it will track and identified by unique ID, and we give additional mechanism to prevent double counting. So the system will give us the total capacity or the availability slot in basement area. So we move on in method section. The first we gather video feed at entry and exit area, and then we apply a pretend model from YOLO to identify vehicle. We only detect one object, which is car, because in our basement in our building, the motorcycle and cars in parking management are spirited. And then after we detect the object, we track the object and assign a unique ID per vehicle. And when the object or the centroid of the object cross the virtual line, it will be counted. And then the status of availability slot will be broadcast from Telegram bot. So here is the implementation of what we have done. So in first and second pictures, in left line and the right line, uh, the car object was detected, while in the third picture, the motorcycle object was ignored. But this is not enough, because sometimes flickering happen. So flickering means, or flickering refers to a temporary detection failure when the object detection model sometimes lose the sight of the vehicle, so causing the object to disappear for a moment. So this can be because of the lightning or the motion blur. But when this happen, the system can lose the track of the object and mistake it for the new object, so it will be double counted there. So this is not good. This is wrong. So we propose tracking strategies. In the first layer, we propose baseline Euclidean matching. So this method only remembers data from one previous frame. But the limitation of this, if a car is moving too fast, its bounding box size change rapidly. So the centroid of the object can shift significantly, and it fails to detect or match the same ID or the old ID and treat it as in the new car. So we add a patient mechanism and adaptive spatial tolerance here. If the camera loss of the track due to flickering, the system doesn't immediately delete the ID, but it preserves the ID up to for about 10 frames. So it will not be generated as the new ID. So when the flickering doesn't happen, or it has been solved, uh, so how to trigger the counter? First of all, we have to create the centroid from the bounding box generated by the model, and then when this centroid cross the virtual line, it will count it, and we also applied around the virtual line to prevent double counting because of detection jitter, and we try to adjust or locate the uh, the virtual line to the proper height. Uh, the last in the top of the image, we can see that this image uh, flickering happens here. So this is the same object, yeah, same physical vehicle counted as a single object, but it jumps from ID2 to the ID3 and 4, but with the same physical vehicle. And with the tracker memory, despite of the bounding box or flickering, it remains consistently locked at the number 2. Uh, Sometimes the centroid never crossed the line. Uh, This because camera doesn't capture full vehicle body, so we adjusted the height of the virtual line here. Okay. Finally, we create a prototype here. In the left picture, a dashboard intended for operators here and allowing them to monitor the live camera and adjust threshold parameter here. And for the users or the drivers, before entering the basement, a driver can simply type a comment here to get the status of the basement availability. Okay, maybe this is the last part. So this study successfully developed a flow-based vehicle counting using pre-trained model, YOLO, with patient mechanism and repositioning the virtual line of the frame height. And the system stabilized centroid detection and successfully eliminate the ID switching issues caused by flickering. In future work, we will focus on edge computing here. We have a Raspberry Pi device, and hopefully it can be deployed here, and uh, and we can validate the real-time performance under production condition. So maybe that's all what I can deliver to you. Thanks to Miss Widya for the time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Fakih. Okay, good research ya about this program, about the intelligent information system under parking management. So we move to Q&A session. So please raise hand from audience if you have question. Okay. So we'll open question for you, Mr. Fakih. So could you elaborate on how your system handles what the challenge in your research, or such as poor in lighting maybe, or overlapping vehicle shadow while you're maintaining accurate in real-time tracking? So what's the challenge in your research?
Okay, thank you. Actually, we never tried the experiments when it rains. So it's only happen when the sun rise and cloudy maybe. But when it rains, we didn't know is it okay or not. It's the first. The second one is about deployment. So if we want to deploy this, uh, we have to we have to have the power source for the embedded system or such as Raspberry Pi. So we need to make it permanent there. So it needs the permission from the authority of the building. So maybe that's all. About detecting about object detection, maybe because we use pre-trained model is actually quite good.
Okay, Mr. Fakih, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we let's all know the last presenter or session is Miss Novelia Claria Lovina, and the paper title is about a wide dense approach with media pipe landmark extraction for lip reading. So the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss Widya, for the time. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Noveria from Multimedia Nusantara University. Today, I will present my research title, A Lightweight DeskNet Approach with Media Pipe Landmark Extraction for Lip Reading. I will briefly walk you through four main sections today: the introduction, the methodology, the result of the study, and finally the conclusion. Introduction. Lip reading is a crucial assistive technology for individuals with speech impairments. For the previous research from Ani and Suharjito, the method is full frame spatial expression 3D CNN. The results were error rate is 28.51. The limitation of the research is
high spatial noise, evaluate irrelevant background pixels. And the second previous research is LibSyncNet with the method EfficientNet B0. And the result of word error rate is 7.96. And the limitation of the research is computationally intensive. Deeper layers are prone to vanishing gradients, losing fine gradient micro expressions. For the research questions is how can we reduce the word error rate in a lip reading system? And the second research question, how can we reduce the computational load so that the system can process video more efficiently? And the research objective, to reduce the word error rate in a lip reading system by integrating MediaPipe and 3D DenseNet. And the second research objectives, to reduce the computational load by extracting the region of interest of the lips, thereby avoiding full frames processing. And the methods, for the methodology, I utilize the grid corpus dataset. It is highly standardized, consisting of 34,000 short video from 34 different speakers, where each video contains a standard 6-word sentence. The data cleansing and preprocessing. The data cleaning to validate the number of frames and remove corrupt or invalid data. And face landmark detection with MediaPipe face mesh. And normalization convert to grayscale and normalize pixel intensity. And data transformation convert to NPY format to faster for training. And the model architecture, special feature extraction with 3D DenseNet, extracting lip shapes change between video frames. DenseNet connects each layer for feature reuse, making it more efficient and capable of capturing the details of lip movement. Temporal context modeling with BGRU to understand the lip movement sequence. BGRU reads data in both directions, forward and backwards, to improve accuracy and address visual similarities between letters. And optimization and alignments of CTC loss is linking model predictions to text without the need to per frame annotation, enabling direct conversion from visual sequence to sentence. And the training monitoring or callbacks with early stoppings to stopping training when there is no further improvement, and model checkpoint automatically saving the best model. And the result and discussion for when compared to previous baseline studies using the same dataset, the training results were highly promising as shown on the curve. The model converts smoothly. It achieved minimum validation loss of 0.13 and an outstanding word error rate of just 0.34%. And compares previous baseline with the same dataset, proposed model shows a massive improvement. It successfully reduced the word error rate from previous benchmark of 7.96% down to 0.34%. And for the conclusion, first, isolating the lips using MediaPipe successfully eliminate computational redundancy. And the second conclusion, the 3D DenseNet architecture prevent feature degradation, achieving state-of-the-art results. Third, I have successfully deployed this model as an interactive web application for practical use. For the future research, this model will be tested in DESERVE to real-world environments. That brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time and attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Noveria. So we move to Q&A session. So please, any question from our audience? Okay, so one question for you, Miss Noveria. So, for camera, it's what angel and facial feature, yeah. So, how did you robust the denses net and media pipe for extraction the natural variation like head pose, facial hair, or another? So, what this yeah, for like a real time maybe, or what's your next research? Do you research for your sensitive camera?
For the feature research with camera angles, focus on frontal-facing videos of defining the grid corpus dataset. This ensure consistent landmark tracking for optimized sleep reading performance.
Okay, so what is the challenge when you do the research? What the challenge?
The challenge is for the training,
Mhm.
because this dataset based dataset videos, so we need good processor for training.
Okay.
That's how.
Oh, okay, that's all, yeah. So your answer is closing this session. So, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes all of the presentation for the online parallel session from room F5 on behalf of ICHADES 2026. So, I would like thank you very much for all our presenter for the exceptional contribution and insight. So before we officially close this session, I would like to invite all presenter and participant to turn on your camera for virtual group photo session. So please turn on your camera. Okay. Right. Okay. So the first pose. Yeah. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Freestyle maybe. Oh, dance. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Once again, the last. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, and have wonderful afternoon, yeah. So thank you very much for your active participation. So I close video berikut ini. Thank you. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Miss Vidya.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.